They never found the crack cocaine in the White House that was left there during the Biden administration, but I think I know what it was used for. Not when they found DNA on the baggies. They destroyed them all, though. Whose cocaine was it? Whatever it was, the coke was used to draw the district lines in the newly redistricted Virginia maps. Look at this. Yeah, I have a 2-year-old, and he likes to color with his crayons. And his lines are more cohesive and logical than what the hell is going on here in Virginia. This is the new map of Virginia, approved by a bunch of criminal alien foreigners who were handed mail-in ballots by George Soros operatives in Virginia. Nobody voted in favor of this. They just won on the mail-in ballot dump. And that dump, of course, is criminal and illegal, and they should be banned in the first place. But anyway, this is what Virginia gave its voters, except, Supreme Court of Virginia just smashed it down into the center of the earth. Supreme Court of Virginia denies request to appeal ruling blocking redistricting certification hold. What this means is that the Supreme Court of Virginia, which Virginia has already had this election, which was rigged as hell, struck down. It was struck from a judge has said that you have violated so many parts of our Constitution that this election won't stand. None of the votes are valid. The votes in favor, the votes against, all of them are trash. Ladies and gentlemen, a Virginia Supreme Court, which was hearing an appeal by Jay Jones. Jay Jones is the Attorney General of Virginia who wants to kill Republican children. That's what he said. He's the one arguing this now. It's amazing. The roster of the Democrat Party. He was actually preceded by a lieutenant governor in Virginia that just killed himself and his wife in a murder-suicide in front of his children. So they're sending their best. They really are with DEI hires in Virginia. Anyway, he can't win at the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court has just said, no, you are not allowed to redraw the district lines in Virginia in a massive win for fair maps. The Virginia Supreme Court has denied Democrat Attorney General a request to pause the court order blocking the controversial redistricting. The Supreme Court of Virginia is going to hear one of many charges here, a contest that is really plainly, obviously illegal if you go through the law and the laws of Virginia, which are the ones that apply here because this is an election law. The Supreme Court will not be ruling in on this. It will simply be the Virginia Supreme Court. The Virginia Supreme Court denied a request from the Republican child murderer to pause a lower court ruling that blocked the certification of the referendum. The election will remain uncertified as the legal process played out. Well, the midterms, which of course this is supposed to be rigging in favor of Democrats, the midterms are 6 months away. You don't have really that much runway to get new district line drawn, there's a lot that has to happen. Balloting process, you go through the voter rolls. You're really in bad shape. And as the clock ticks away on these court battles, it's going to become more and more impossible for you to actually enforce this map. And the main reason why this is unconstitutional is because Democrats decided to rush this process. They broke every single rule in the books in order to rush the process. Virginia redistricting case update. The Supreme Court has denied an emergency request to stay the injunction of last week's gerrymandering referendum. In the tea leaves category, this is a positive tea leaf, as one might imagine. If the Supreme Court of Virginia thought that they could let the referendum stand, then logically they would have lifted the injunction and certified the votes and allowed for them to start redrawing the maps. Caveat, it's still just the tea leaves, but it's a good sign. We'll see what's going on here, ladies and gentlemen. As it is litigated, all of the Virginia maps are still, and by the way, the Virginia map was the fairest map in all of America, a 5-6 split. Look at this. So if Virginia map gets struck down, which now is looking like it might, Republicans suddenly have the advantage in the House. Democrats -8, Republicans +6. This is after the Texas and Florida maps get redrawn. Now, there is the Florida map. This is the Ron DeSantis map right here that Ron DeSantis unveiled, which is very strong. And then there's the Texas map right here, which is also very strong. And Texas just won at the Supreme Court. So while judges are blocking the Virginia map because it violated the Constitution, the Supreme Court of the United States of America just handed a massive win to Texas, saying, no, your maps are totally legal. Go have a ball, right? Have a great time. It's really interesting if you look at like how doomed Democrats are. You look at the U-Haul movers reallocation. Where are people moving to? Texas, Florida, North Carolina, Tennessee, South Carolina, Washington. Washington is the first technically blue state there, but that's just because of people fleeing California. So that's not really a net positive for Democrats at all. Arizona, Idaho, Alabama, Georgia. So they're all red states. They're all red states. And the caveat here is that these are just like blue people from California moving to go destroy like parasites and locusts in another blue state. So it's down bad. So now Democrats are at a disadvantage in even winning the House. They're already at a major disadvantage in winning the Senate. And then you have some toss-ups here. 15 toss-ups. And technically, I don't know why some of these toss-ups are in my home state of Iowa. Come on, Iowa. Come on, Iowa. Do your jobs. It's going to be amazing. I don't know, man. Republicans may actually win the midterms. Virginia gerrymandering effort has run into another hurdle, the state Supreme Court. Attorney General Ken Cuccinelli predicts Democrats will lose in a 7-0 ruling. This would be a massive blow to Democrats. And then you've just pissed off everybody in Virginia. Right?
Virginia ruled a short time ago, within the past 2 hours, that the redistricting referendum passed by voters yesterday is unconstitutional.
Okay, that's the old report, but you pissed off all the voters in Virginia. You've proven that you're going to rig their elections. You just don't give a damn about them. And that you did so illegally. This is going to be, Democrats are going to be in bad shape. This is exactly what Ken Cuccinelli, he is the former Attorney General of Virginia. He's the one who's been fighting all of this, told us on our program. Here is Ken Cuccinelli predicting that they are going to get Democrats are going to get blown out in the Supreme Court here.
All of the violations the Democrat General Assembly did here, they just trampled the state constitutional requirements for passing a constitutional amendment. And then they expected to get passed and say, hey, come on, man, we won, let it stand. No legal argument. And the legal arguments they're making are such long stretches. They've been made in other places in the country. They've never won. These arguments have never prevailed anywhere in the country, and now they're going to try them in Virginia, and they're not going to have any better luck here. I know people look at the makeup of courts. I will say our court has been blissfully less political than, say, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Montana, but it does have 4 Republican appointees and 3 Democrat appointees right now. The General Assembly does the appointing, and with this radical General Assembly, those Republicans, I'm sure, know they're not getting reappointed. So I don't think that's a factor, and I think this will be decided straight up on the law. And Benny, I wouldn't be surprised to see a 7-0 ruling against this referendum. That's just how brazen the General Assembly was in trampling the constitutional requirement for amending the Constitution.
So you are predicting a straight sweep, a wipeout in the Supreme Court of this election.
Yeah, as I said, I think it could get to 7-0. If I were a betting man, I'd bet with heavy odds that the referendum is nullified.